Well, here's the thing: we are not when we're running through this, we're not counting is how we trade. He hardly ever goes through a preseason without making a deal. It feels like something's coming for me.
You're right.
Special teams returner. I don't know. It feels like something.
If anything, it'll be a safety.
Yeah, maybe
he's gonna trade for a safety. This will be a hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's still gonna be a hard cut. We thought after the game that it'd be easy to cut guys. It's still not easy to cut these guys.
All right, you guys want to run through it? Zach's the best, by the way. Just absolute.
Very informative.
Yeah, man. Pros.
Well thought out. Yes.
Yeah, you name it. All right, let's run through it, Barry. Let's start on the offensive side. And Derek, you ready to go? Let's do this thing. Are there going to be more than just the 1-2 at the quarterback position? We know it's Jalen Hurts. We know it's Gardner Minshew. We've already heard that Carson Strong's out, but does Reed Sinnett make this team? And is he the practice squad guy if he does? Because I got to tell you, other than the throw to Devin Allen, who is the fastest man in the universe, I saw nothing from Reed Sinnett. But where do you fall with Reed Sinnett?
No, I don't. I don't see Reed Sinnett making the squad.
No.
I don't see him on the practice squad either. I think they keep Carson Strong on the practice squad, stay with two quarterbacks for the regular season.
How about you, Derek?
Don't be surprised if they go out and get a young quarterback from somewhere else, cut off of somebody else's roster. Obviously, Strong hasn't had the opportunities. I've seen enough of Sinnett, and I've seen Eagles do this in the past. Bring in a young quarterback, didn't like him, and all of a sudden go out and get somebody else's quarterback. So if you're going to twist my arm, I would lean more towards Strong based on the fact that maybe they feel they can develop him. But if they get rid of both, I think they're going to look at some other quarterbacks as well that are going to be released tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Let's go running back. We've already heard that Huntley is going to be cut, so that kind of changes the game a little bit. We know who the first three are. We'll talk about Miles Sanders in a second, but we know the first three are Sanders, Scott, Gainwell, Locke. Does this mean Kennedy Brooks makes it, or they're just keeping three?
To me, I think they're just keeping three.
Okay.
I think Huntley's back on the practice squad if somebody didn't pick him up. If they do pick him up, then I think Kennedy Brooks will be on the practice squad. They're going to this year with three guys because three guys can play special teams and don't take with the equation that Boston Scott can return kicks also, so he can be a kickoff returner for him. But the likelihood of keeping a guy just for kickoff return, and that would have been Jason Huntley's only
solely for that. Yeah.
How many kickoff returns do you have, in a game? They might get one an entire game. They might go 3 games without even returning a kickoff, So I just didn't see his worth doing enough. Even with that long run, it was more so an assignment bust and just bad angles.
Poor tackling, too. Yeah. I mean, they were tackling him up here. He basically just threw the guy off. And it was a nice run. I'm not going to take it away.
Right. So, I mean, that for me, that's, he's just not going to be, his worth isn't what it used to be. So Kenny could be on the practice squad. Kenny Brooks could be on the practice squad.
Chris D, I can't argue with that. I got a little shot, but I agree. Reed said it did not impress. That's for sure. All right, so that's quarterback. That's running back. Here we go. Let's go receiver. We know the locks, right? We know AJ. We know
all
Devontae.
5 of them.
Yeah, Quez.
All 5 locks.
Pascal. I love where you're going already. All right, so we get past Devontae, AJ, Quez, and Zach Pascal. That leaves us with
the other lock. The other lock.
Kane, Covey, Ward, Devin Allen, D. Gunn. Listen up, Barrett. Who was that last spot?
We already said it. I mean, they'll go with 5 receivers, and just because it's so many, ways you have to go on defense. So, Jalen Reagor makes the squad, man.
Derek's going to be crowing so badly if they do cut Reagor. We're never going to hear the end of it.
No, I'm not going to say anything. I mean, if he makes it, he makes it. But I'm just saying, you asked all summer, you've asked me my opinion about why Reagor should not make this team. Reagor has shown me very little in training camp, very little in preseason games. So that's why I have stuck to my gun.
Derek,
what?
One time did we ask you to make sense of this.
to make what?
To make sense of this. We all know that it makes no sense for him to be on the squad, but we actually but we're just being realistic, man. Realistically,
I get
he
that.
shouldn't be on the squad, but he is going to be on the squad.
You know what? And if you're right, you're right. But I'm now going to change my opinion that it's going to be a tough decision for Howie to make to let go of Jalen Reagor, especially when you consider they are proud of themselves as an organization, how their last few draft picks have gone, and he's heard the battle cries about you took him over Justin Jefferson, and he wants to give him in every chance possible. But now that you have A.J. Brown in the fold, that slides the equation in a different direction. And you have the opportunity. And like I said, Deion Kane showed me something one game. I'm singing his praises. All of a sudden, this past game, I'm like, uh-oh.
Who is this guy?
Oh, is this Travis Fulgham part 2?
Right.
But I'm still going to stick to my gun. I still think Deion Kane has the potential to be what Jalen Reagor has not been to this organization. And so until the official cuts come out, I'm going to stick to my gun and say I'm still leaning more Kane than Reagor.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So you're just going to bite your nose off to spite your face. Huh?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Hill. He's going to die on the Reagor hill.
I'll be a lonely man on top of that hill, but I'm going to die on that hill. Yes.
This one feels a little more cut and dry. Tell me if you guys disagree. Tight end. Goddard, Stoll, Calcaterra, despite missing a good amount of time in camp. Jackson on the IR, and then we'll figure it out till he's able to get back. But we mentioned Noah Togiagi. He didn't help himself too much. But is that the way you guys see it shaking out at tight end?
Yeah.
All right, that would
it's a slam dunk.
Yeah,
I see Richard Rodgers possibly making this roster again.
He's always hanging around, man.
He's a hang arounder.
He's only 30 years old.
Is he only 30?
He's only 30. Yep.
Wow.
He's only 30?
Yeah.
I would have gone like 34.
Me too.
Yeah. He's only 30 years old. And
what year is this for him?
In the league, 7 or 8.
Damn.
I got to look that up, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I feel like he was like playing with Favre before Rodgers even got to Green Bay. He's been around.
He
so
is
long.
only 30 years old.
Yep.
Man.
He was drafted in 2014, third round pick, Green Bay, 2014.
Wow. It feels like he's been in the league a lot longer than that. Okay.
Derek, I cannot believe that, man.
I'm telling you. See, that's what I'm thinking. He's gonna be a safety valve for this team. He's a decent blocker. He's a decent pass catcher. Now, when Tyree Jackson is ever healthy, I think that shakes up the apple cart. Because I think Tyree Jackson has the potential to be a solid tight end in the National Football League. Just can't get him healthy.
Where's that leave Calcaterra, though? Is he a practice squad guy in your estimation?
No, I think right now, I think right now he makes this team. I mean, he shows a lot of potential. Even though he's been limited, I think he shows a lot of potential.
Well, he can catch the ball, and he's got speed.
Yes, he can. Yeah. Now, he's got to work on his blocking game. But then again, what young tight end doesn't have to work on his blocking game at the end? And
that's why Stoll's there. I mean, Stoll.
Yes, why Stoll's there. They'll probably keep 3 tight ends.
Okay.
At least 3 tight ends.
Okay. Offensive line. So we know the starters. Mailata and Lane Johnson are your tackles. Dickerson, Samalu are your guards. Kelsey, at least you hope, is going to be able to start week 1. The lock backup at center is Juergens. That much we know. This is where it gets interesting.
Wow.
I'll throw names at you. You tell me yes, no. Jack Driscoll. I think he's a lock.
Yep.
Lock.
As one of the backups. So Opeda.
Yep.
Lock.
Okay. Dillard.
Yep.
Okay. Jack Anderson.
Yep.
Lock.
Okay.
How many is that? 5?
Yeah, I mean we're getting up there now.
That's 10. That's all.
That's it.
That's it.
Everybody else is gone.
Yeah, LaRaven Clark goes. He gets cut. I don't
know.
John Sills.
Coyote Ugly. I mean Coyote.
Barrett's favorite guy has been talking about since June. Awusika?
Yes.
Awusika, yeah. Awusika is actually Awusika.
Is it Awusika? Okay.
Yeah, Coyote Awusika, practice squad guy.
Okay.
Tom Lee's Cameron, he's already cut. Josh Sills, he's gone.
What about Brett Toth?
He's
hurt.
Yeah, he's still on.
He's hurt.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about cutting. It's not a cut issue.
Yeah. So I mean, the only way they keep 9 is if they cut Jack Anderson. But I think they like Jack Anderson too much.
I think they like Anderson too.
Yeah, he plays all 3 positions: center, guard, and tackle. So they'll keep him around. But other than that, man, it's these guys will be on a practice squad. So that's 10 That's 10 guys right there. You know, so
Okay.
you got Cam Jurgens, Jack Anderson, Jack Driscoll, Sewell Peta, and Andre Dillard all make the squad. Everybody after that, Clark, Seals, Tom, Awosika, they get the cut.
Okay. All right. We'll jump over to the other side now. Let's go defensive line.
This is hard right here.
Yeah. There's a few we can lock in. Fletcher.
Yep.
Hargrave.
Yep.
Jordan Davis.
Yep.
Milton
Barnett.
Williams.
Yep.
Sweat.
Yep.
Brandon Graham. All right. We're agreed.
Yep.
Locks. Okay.
Locks.
Here's where it gets
Oh,
interesting.
you didn't say Barnett. Oh,
Yeah. You're right. Derek Barnett. He is a lock. I agree with that.
It's because of money.
Yeah. I just missed them. All right. I think Tyron Jackson makes the team.
Yes.
I agree.
Tui Pilata, did he do enough? They like him.
Tuipulotu, they like him,
Yeah.
but I think he gets cut.
Okay.
Practice squad.
Yeah, practice squad candidate. Makes sense.
Marvin Wilson gets cut.
Marvin Wilson. That's it. And we already know Ren, he's gone.
Then Matt Leo will be cut, put on practice squad.
Yeah.
And that's it, right?
Yep.
That's it. Okay. So they likely keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 D linemen, and that's not counting Reddick.
Wow.
And that's and you know, like Sweat, Graham, Jackson are edge guys.
Yes.
They pick them as edge guys. If you look at the interior, it's Williams, Davis, Hargrave, and Fletcher Cox are the interior guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's run through linebacker then. Hassan Reddick, and again, I know he's a hybrid, but for our purposes, linebacker Reddick, Edwards, Kaiser White, Nakobe Dean. This is where we starts to get in, and I'm going to throw Sean Bradley in there.
There's a lock. Yes.
Patrick Johnson.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Yep.
Kyron Johnson.
No. Practice squad.
Practice squad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
So how many linebackers is that?
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 linebackers.
That's
wow.
counting Bradley and counting Reddick as a linebacker.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why
there's some numbers crunches here, man. There's some numbers
a lot of
crunches
linebackers.
here. All right. Cornerback. Slay Bradbury, Maddox, boom, boom, boom.
Cut them all except the starters.
Slade Bradbury.
Scott.
Maddox.
Does Josiah Scott make it?
Yes, Scott makes it.
Josh Jobe.
McPherson makes it.
You think McPherson makes it?
Yeah.
Over Jobe?
Yes.
Okay.
And then safeties.
Safeties, Epps, Harris. Now, here's the one. Does Kayvon Wallace make this team?
That's tough because, I mean, it's between 3 guys. Andre Shea-Sharay.
Shea-Sharay, who's a good special teamer.
Yep. Reed Blankenship and Kayvon Wallace.
And we know Tart's gone for people who are just joining us.
Yeah, he's not even on the depth chart anymore.
They've already removed him from the depth chart?
Yeah, but he's still on the roster listings, but he's not on the depth chart anymore. That's weird.
Blankenship feeling more like a roster or a practice squad?
Practice squad.
Okay. Shea-Sharay?
Shea-Sharay. He doesn't make the squad, and I think he's going to be on a practice squad. There's 15 people in the practice squad. 16 people. Yeah. You know, so he'll be one of those practice squad guys. Blankenship will be a practice squad guy. Kyron Johnson will be a practice squad guy. I think Vincent Jr. will be a practice squad guy.
Interesting.
You think why do you think he makes it as a practice squad? Because he hasn't had a good camp necessarily.
No, he hasn't had a good camp, but they like his size. He's a big corner. You know what I'm saying? They like his size.
Okay.
I mean, he's 5'10", 190. I mean, I don't know what they see in him, but they like him a lot.
Well, here's the thing: we are not when we're running through this, we're not counting is how we trade. He hardly ever goes through a preseason without making a deal. It feels like something's coming for me.
You're right.
I mean, special teams returner. I don't know. It feels like something.
If anything, it'll be a safety.
Yeah, maybe
he's going to trade for a safety. This will be a hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's still going to be a hard cut. You know, we thought after the game that it'd be easy to cut guys. It's still not easy to cut these guys because I mean, how much of a resource? How many guys you keep? going because you can only dress, I think it's 46 or 47 guys going into a game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep 47 guys, which one of these guys you say, all right, we're gonna dress you, and you, like especially the D line position, D line and O line. That's a lot of guys, a lot of extra guys. That's why I said there's only gonna be 2 quarterbacks. It's only gonna be three running backs. It's only gonna be 5 wide receivers because they got to carry extra, especially with the overhang guys at linebacker / D end, keeping those guys. There's only really 4 interior defensive linemen. That's Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, and Javon Hargrave. That's 4 guys. You got to rotate 4 guys. That's tough, Then you got to look at Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, and Tyron Jackson.
Yeah,
as the 4 defensive ends. When you do run 4 down, then you have the overhang guys. You're going to keep 2 overhang guys, and to me, that's Hassan Reddick and Patrick Johnson. Kyron is just going to be a guy that's going to be on a practice squad.
So you're considering Brandon strictly a DN in this exercise? Like, what's Graham? Okay,
a DN, yes.
Okay.
I say he's a DN. I say Josh Sweat is a DN. Derek Barnett is a DN, and Tyron Jackson's a DN.
Okay.
So it's 4 guys there.
Looking at Bear's practice squad, I think Bear put like 23 guys on the practice squad.
He got a special exemption because the Eagles have so much depth.
No, actually,
the league said, "All right, we'll give you 7 more, man. You're good."
Actually, it's 10. It's only 10. That's only 10 guys I have on practice.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Well, I just, it's a good problem to have, right? Because some of these guys will definitely be snapped up, I think, by other NFL teams.
You're right.
For sure. But you may potentially lose some guy who can play. That's the other part of only playing 3 preseason games, and maybe some of these guys aren't getting the looks that they would normally get. Somebody might slip through the cracks. And if they do, shame on you because you've had them in practice every day too. I get that, but it's something else to consider here.
Well, like that, I just got a text from Dan Celio. He says, you're right. Just bullshit effort, especially if you're trying to make the team. A lot of these guys didn't help themselves because it was a BS effort. It was a BS effort, bro.
That's what I'm saying. There was no sense of urgency. I'm sitting there waiting going, okay, even though they were playing the ones, first of all, they were playing Miami's ones. Here's what bothered me the most is when Tua was in the game, they kept rolling that rollback sprint out the whole game.
Oh, they bid on it every time.
Now, one time did a DN on the opposite side or an outside linebacker stay in containment.
Nope.
They bit on it every time.
That's coach though, man.
That's coaching. Yes.
And I saw it in the preseason. They want their defensive ends to go down the line and pursue to stop.
Why? Because if a team figures that out, dude, they're gonna have the whole backside of the field wide open. Quarterback's got 3 options on the backside, man.
They have not figured that out in the last 5-6 years.
That's unbelievable.
That's coaching. And because they want that backside. They don't have a lot of faith in their linebackers holding their gap in the backside. So
but you got a different breed of linebacker now, dude. You got to teach it. You got Kazir White almost. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You got a different breed of linebackers now. You have veteran DNs, not rookie DNs. You have veteran DNs out there on the edges now.
Right.
You got to. Did you see how long Tua was standing there patting the ball, waiting for somebody to free up either the underneath route or to go down the field with the ball?
Yeah, yes. It was really
ridiculous.
And I know people are like, well, you don't necessarily draw a correlation between the preseason, but whatever. When there is an effort there, and your whole mantra is we're going to outwork everybody. We have the dog mentality.
Yeah.
And I know how Nick has spun it publicly. If he wasn't lighting them up after that game, I understand it's futile. Some of the guys aren't going to be here. I'm not getting that cranked up. I'm just saying from an effort standpoint, I can live with Tyreek Hill blowing past the guy who's a number 2 or number 3 because he's not talented enough. But there were too many plays where they weren't trying in that game.
That's the most damning thing right there, and that's why me and Seals, come from the same school of you can't coach effort. Either you got it or you don't. And fatigue makes a coward of everybody. And when you start getting tired, that's when you'll know it all comes out. And what I saw this last game was a lot of cowards out there because they just weren't giving max effort, man. Give it all, man. Give it all. When you're out there, give it all. Don't stop. Just give it all.
Well, I think where it also plays into this, right, is were they not giving max effort because they were too tired? Does that go back to these short practices? They're not playing as much in preseason games. And what's that going to look like 13 days from now? Are they suddenly going to be in shape enough to be able to go when it's real time?
Have I not been screaming that for the past 2.5 weeks?
Yeah.
That's all I've been saying for the 2.5 weeks. You got to get in shape. You got to make sure your body you got to hit the point of fatigue during practice. And then that's when you go out there and run more to get your body past it. It's like people don't understand when you lift weights, the reason you get stronger is you have to break down tissue. You have to break down muscle tissue. Break it down so it can grow back stronger. That's what lifting weight does. In order for you got to go to exhaustion so your body knows what it feels like to be exhausted. And then you figure that you can push forward even more. That's when you start getting in better shape, when you can press past the feeling of being totally exhausted and then give extra at the lab.
But the current collective bargaining agreement negates that. I agree with you 100%. But the collective bargaining agreement limits how much you can practice.
Right.
You exceed it, teams getting fined. Nobody wants to be fined.
Right,
if you do it too much, you lose draft picks. Nobody wants to lose draft picks.
That's why I said who's running after practice, who's running before practice. That's what I want to see. Right. I just said it today. I want to see what players are running. Like, it was a point where when I really understood that I had to take advantage of my body is when I got my second year in Detroit. And we practiced in the dome, so we didn't get out in the elements a lot. So I would make sure that I would run before practice, get tired before practice. And that way I'm in practice, I'm tired. So when I go through practice, I can push past the point of, all right, I'm exhausted, and now I know I can give more.
Right.
And then I run after practice to make sure of that, just to be in shape. I may have been fat, but I was still in shape, though.
No.
It might have been a round shape, but it was a well-conditioned round shape.
Big boned. Yeah. We prefer
no, big boned it. Big boned it.
Big boned it.
Yeah.
Stocky. Yeah, that's what we like. Husky.
Yeah. What would you say? The husky pants or the huskies?
The husky. Yeah, you get it with Sears.
I wore my fair share.
Tough skins. The tough skins.
You can wash them 1,000 times, and they'd still say that new blue. They still say that new blue, man.
You could slide on cement, and you wouldn't even see a mark on those pants. I'm telling you, man. They were indestructible.
Yeah, they were.
They were unbelievable. All right, so we'll come back. Remember those? All right, so we come back. We'll continue to update you if we're hearing anything in regards to any more cuts, Eagles-wise and around the league with some notable names. We will pass those along. Some teams, it feels like it's happening fast and furious, and other teams have been really quiet. So, we'll keep you posted. We'll get into some of the interest. Some crazy stuff, man. The Brian Robinson story, just nuts.
Wow.
Kenny Galladay, we'll get into him, Sam Darnold, Tyrod Taylor's injury, former great assistant coach in the NFL, passed away at the age of 86 years old. We'll cover that as well. But we have to deal with the Matt Araiza situation, just brutal all around. We'll talk about that as well. We'll get into some Phillies also who dropped yesterday but had a real good recovery after that Mets series. They're on the road tonight against Arizona, and then they go out to San Francisco. So we'll do all of that. Don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's talk Razor Technology. Yeah, let's do it. Razor Technology's comprehensive managed service provider solution delivers constant monitoring, on-demand assistance, and rapid issue resolution. Through data-vetted and insight-driven implementation, we strengthen our existing IT resources with both human power and expertise that reduces security risks and downtime while enhancing organizational efficiency and productivity. We are a strategic resource for adaptive and fast-growing companies that need help selecting, implementing, and managing their IT services. Our goal is always bigger than one project, one problem, or one upgrade. It's improving the overall functioning of our partners and helping them achieve their business objectives through an ongoing synergistic relationship. Give your IT team the freedom to refocus by augmenting their reach with Razor Technology. Contact Razor Technology today to learn how our managed services can protect and enhance your business by giving them a call at 866-797-3282. That's 866-797-3282. Or visit online at razor-tech.com. That's razor-tech.com.